こんばんは。Alakagi-san, we don't hear you. Okay, guys, it's 9 o'clock. Okay, let's go. Mike, please.
Ready, Hiroko? Okay. Good evening,
Yes.
Asia. I'm Mike Liu in Manila with Victor Yu in Taipei. Welcome to the 10th episode of Beyond Birding here on the Asian Bird Fair Online Talk. Our guest tonight will speak about the conservation projects of the Wild Bird Society of Japan. Let us welcome Miss Hiroko Okamoto. Good evening, Hiroko.
Hello, everyone.
You can put on your presentation.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Hiroko Okamoto, and I'm from Wild Bird Society of Japan. And thank you very much for inviting me to this ABF online talk. I would be happy to share about our conservation activities of Wild Bird Society of Japan. So I will share my slide. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, no problem.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay, so we have many activities. So today I'd like to focus on 3 topics: conservation of red-crowned crane, iconic birds of Japan, and barn swallows breeding survey, and tackling plastic pollution to protect seabird. But first, I would like to talk about general information of Wild Bird Society of Japan. We are a conservation NGO and birdlife partner in Japan. And Wild Bird Society of Japan was established in 1934. Our activities are supported over 50,000 members and donors. And we also have over 80 active local groups and 110 staffs at nature sanctuaries and head office in Tokyo. This is our bird magazine for our members, and these photos are nature reserves in Hokkaido. Okay, next slide. Our mission is to protect birds and their habitat, especially for endangered species such as Black-Easton's fish owl living in forest in Hokkaido. Can you hear the song of Black-Easton's fish owl?
Yes.
Okay. This is a duet song of male and female. And this bird is red-crowned crane. Today's focus, breeding in wetland in Hokkaido. I will show you some video of red-crowned crane later. And this bird is a Japanese mullet, tiny seabird breeding in isolated island in Japan. And this bird is Izu Island thrush, endemic species of Japan. The song is very beautiful. We have 633 species of birds in Japan, including 16 endemic species. Okay, next slide. This is a wild bird protection area. We established wild bird protection area for the protection of endangered species such as red-crowned crane and black-eastern fish owl. Currently, we manage 43 protection areas totaling over 3,500 hectares. Most of the protection areas located in Hokkaido. We purchase the land from owners and manage there for endangered species. Next slide is IBAs, important bird and biodiversity areas. We identified 166 IBAs and 27 marine IBAs. And we try to promote the concept of IBAs through our website and a booklet of IBA inventories. This is the map of marine IBAs. We identified 27 marine IBAs in 2016, and we published marine IBAs inventories. Now it's translated into English, so you can see and download marine IBAs inventory from our website. The photos on this slide are rhinoceros outlet and their breeding colony in Teurito Island. Teurito Island is here, northwest part of Hokkaido, 28 kilometers from Haboro town, and there are 240 species of birds confirmed in this island. And this island provides good breeding colony for seabirds, including common mullet and spectacled guillemot, ancient mullet, and there is the world's largest breeding colony of this bird, rhinoceros outlet. The best season to watching seabirds is from May to July. Next slide is our product. I would like to show you some products of Wild Bird Society of Japan. We published this book, a field guide to the birds of Japan for Japanese bird watchers. And these are two books designed with kingfishers and Japanese robins, field guide for beginner bird watchers. We picked up common species easy to spot in Japan. Okay, I will show you some more products. This is rain boots for birding. You can fold this boot compact and bring it for a birding tour. And this is a bird-friendly coffee. The package design is black-eastern fish owl. This is an organic and shade brown coffee from coffee farm, which provides good habitat for migratory bird. The taste is very good. So let's move on to today's main topic. The first is the red-crowned crane and nature sanctuary. Currently, we manage 7 nature sanctuaries in total. 3 of them are urban sanctuary located nearby big cities such as Tokyo and Yokohama and Nagoya. And other 4 sanctuaries located in rural areas. And we have rangers in each sanctuaries, and we provide information of birds and nature, and rangers conduct conservation activities such as monitoring and habitat management and environment education. You will find this Utonaiko Sanctuary in Hokkaido, This is the first bird sanctuary of Japan. And Turui Ito Tancho Sanctuary is today's focus. It's here in east part of Hokkaido. Okay, so let's focus on Turui Ito Tancho Sanctuary. Turui Ito Tancho Sanctuary was established in 1987 for the purpose of the protection of red-crowned crane and their habitat. Now there are so many visitors coming here around the world to observe red-crowned crane or take a photo of crane. We have a nature center which open from October to March, 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock, closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, and between December 26th and January 1st. This building is a nature center, and there is a observation room, and we can see a feeding ground from here. And we will start feeding to crane from mid-November to until late March. So I think the best season to see red-crowned crane is from mid-November to mid-March. Okay, next slide. I'd like to talk a little more about red-crowned crane. Red-crowned crane is one of the most largest birds in Japan. Adults have a white body with red crown and black in face and neck and part of wings. Red crown is become brighter when the bird is excited. Younger birds lacks red crown and have a brownish head and neck. Because of the overhunting and destruction of wetlands, they disappeared in 1950 and considered to be extinct. Then local people discovered the crane still exists in wetland and started conservation work. They feed the crane in winter season, and now the population recovers until 1,900 individuals. They breed in wetland in east part of Hokkaido from spring to summer, and gathering in Turui village from autumn to winter. In nature, they feed on fish and frogs and insects and seed of plants, but in winter, they rely on feeding. Okay, so today I've got two videos of red-crowned crane in Turui village. So I'd like to show you the video. The first one is roosting site of red-crowned crane. You can see up to 200 red-crowned crane from mid-October to mid-March. You will hear the sound of taking photos. Red-crowned crane leaves the roost after sunrise, so many photographers coming here in very early morning. Next video is a red-crowned crane in Turui Ito Tancho Sanctuary in early morning.
There's no sound.
Okay, so let's move on. Next slide. Okay, next slide is bird and photo ethics. Today I would like to ask you, as you are a bird guide or tour leader, to promote ethical birding. So if you observe red-crowned crane or take a photo of crane, please avoid stressing birds. Please keep an appropriate distance from red-crowned crane. And never step beyond the fences to enter the feeding area. And please observe red-crowned crane quietly and peacefully. And if you are taking a photo of crane, do not use flashing light because sometimes the flashing light disturbs crane and the cranes can be panicked by a flashing light. And please do not use drones for birding. And please do not feed the crane. Not just the crane. Please do not feed any other wild animals. And please do not throw away any garbage and litters because red-crowned crane sometimes pick up glittering objects and easily swallow them. Okay, next slide is our latest conservation activities of red-crowned crane. Now the population of red-crowned crane recovered about 1,900 individuals. So our conservation activities moved to a next stage. In winter, we feed the crane in 3 feeding stations in Turui village. But in nature, they eat small creatures such as insects in unfrozen river. So we create natural foraging habitat surrounding nature sanctuaries supported by volunteers. And this photo is a habitat management work. And this is me wearing red jacket. We remove the branches growing over the river and make it easy to access to the foraging area in winter. And below the photo is in winter. Many cranes access to this foraging area. Okay, next slide is access to Turui Ito Tancho Sanctuary. The sanctuary is located in Turui village is here. The nearest airport is Kushiro Airport is here. So it will take about 40-minute drive from airport to sanctuary. By public transportation, take bus from Kushiro Airport to Kushiro Station and transfer to another bus and get off the nearest bus stop and just a 10-minute walk to the sanctuary. We have an English website, official website of this sanctuary. So before you be planning to visit Turui Ito Tancho Sanctuary, please visit this English site and see more details. This is the address of English website. Okay, Can I move on next slide? Okay, next topic is barn swallow breeding survey. Barn swallow is a quite common bird in Japan, but according to several surveys, the population of barn swallow is declining in recent years. So we've been conduct internet barn swallow survey since 2012. And everyone can join this survey, just observe barn swallow's nest and send the findings to a website. Regarding the survey, we found that barn swallows failed to raise their chicks due to attack of jungle crow and nest destruction by human. We also do this barn swallow survey with school children because barn swallow is one of the most familiar migratory birds in Japan, and everyone can identify barn swallows. And barn swallows often build their nest under the eaves of a house, so children can observe swallow nest at home or just a short walk in our neighborhood. So I think barn swallow is a good education material for children, especially children forced to stay at home due to COVID-19. We can find barn swallow's nest everywhere, on the security camera of supermarket, at the beauty salon, at bicycle shop, under the eaves of tailored shop. Barn swallows has had a close association with Japanese people for a long time. So we have been developed a barn swallow survey program for schools, but due to COVID-19, all schools had been closed last spring. So we provide some teaching materials and videos for school. And after the reopening of school, we conduct online lectures of swallow survey. Over 100 students and teachers participated using tablets and computers. And these are reports by children. After the workshop of swallow survey, you will see lovely drawings of barn swallows by children. And this is a distribution map of barn swallows. We can see barn swallows almost all over the world. Orange is breeding area, and blue is wintering area. Barn swallows returning to the breeding ground in spring and raise the chicks until summer. And after all the chicks fledged, they roost in reed bed in a large flock and start migration in autumn. In Asia, barn swallows wintering in Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Thailand. And they breed in Japan and also breed in Korea and China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, and Russia. So we considered we can do some activities, some workshop to exchange information of barn swallow survey in between swallow breeding countries. So next slide is a swallow workshop in Taiwan in 2014. And thanks for Victor for arranging this program. We invited many Japanese volunteers and a primary school student from Taiwan. We also developed teaching kit of barn swallows, a barn swallows observation guide for school teachers and education readers to expand barn swallows survey to other countries. We published this teaching kit in 2015, and now it's translated into 3 languages, English, Japanese, and Chinese. So if anyone who are interested in barn swallows survey, please access to the following website and download all materials. Okay, next slide is today's final topic, tackling plastic pollution to protect marine life. This photo is rhythm albatross in Midway. The photo looks beautiful, but you can see so many plastic waste behind the bird. So now plastic pollution is a serious problem, serious threat to seabirds and marine life. You can see a sea turtle stacking in plastic ring, and sea lion entangled in fishing net, and albatross surrounded by plastic debris such as plastic bottle or fishing gear. Well, seabirds affected by marine plastic pollution in 3 main ways. First is ingestion. Birds sometimes pick up plastic waste as food. And second is entanglement. Birds sometimes entangle in plastic waste such as fishing net or fishing gear or ring-shaped items. And third is nest incorporation. Birds sometimes pick up plastic into their nest, and chicks may injured by plastic debris. Well, albatross catch squid and other seafood by skimming the surface of water, so they accidentally pick up floating plastic, mistaking it for food. So next slide is quite shocking photo. Dead albatross chick in Midway. So albatross feed these plastic waste to their chicks, and the plastic waste fill up stomachs of chicks and injures digestives or taking up space and makes them feel full when they are starving. And next slide is plastic waste in Ireland, which is a breeding site of endangered Japanese mullet. So we are planning to do a survey of plastic pollution, how plastic pollution affects on Japanese mullet. Next slide is another photo of plastic waste in the island of breeding site of Japanese mullet. You will see plastic bag here and there. But I think the situation is changed little by little now. Actually, in Japan, last year, we are Japan charging for plastic bags, and now all retail stores, including grocery shop or convenience store, required to charge customers for the use of plastic bag. And now many Japanese people bring reusable shopping bag for when they go to shopping. And the main activities of Wild Bird Society of Japan to tackle plastic pollution is policy and advocacy. We work with other NGOs such as WWF Japan or Greenpeace Japan and other citizen groups to make policy recommendation to government because we need to set legally binding measures to reduce single-use plastic. And SIPA activities are also important. SIPA is communication, education, and participation and awareness. So we call for actions to reduce single-use plastic for our members and Japanese bird watchers through our magazines or our website. For example, bring your own water bottle for birding. And this water bottle is our product, illustrated albatross. And carry reusable shopping bags. And say no thanks to single-use plastic cutlery or travel amenities when you go for a birding trip. This photo is is my chopstick. Okay, and we also conduct education activities such as seminar and workshops on regular basis to let more people know about the plastic pollution. This poster is made by children, illustrated sea turtle, and with message, do not throw away any garbage. And some of our members do an event combine bird watching and beach cleanup. Many young people from small children to a university student participated in these activities. So I have one suggestion to today's audience and my friend in birding community. How about include cleanup activity in birding activities? I mean, after you enjoyed bird watching, how about pick up the garbage at the site, even if you have limited time? Okay, next slide. Okay, so in ending of my presentation, I just want to tell all of you who planning or guiding or joining birding tour, let's consider how to travel with less plastic. I am happy if we can make small changes from our birding community for birds and for environment and for future generations. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. And please ask me if you have any questions. Okay, I will stop to share my slide.
Okay, thank you very much, Hiroko.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been doing great in Japan. Yes, Francisco. Yeah, but you're muted. Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Ohio, Hiroko. You said that right now there are 1,900 red crown cranes.
Yeah.
From how many did you start? There was no inbreeding problem starting with a small number. genetic problem?
Yeah. When local people discover the crane, the number of crane is about 50.
50. Okay.
Yeah.
And in how long it has grown up to 1900?
I think about 30 years or 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
And there has not been inbreeding problems, genetic deformation,
No.
because they no?
No.
There are other populations of red crown cranes besides Japan?
No. Now
Only
the
in Japan.
population of red crowned crane is just in Hokkaido, north part of Japan.
Interesting. There is no inbreeding problems.
No.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, I know there are red crown cranes in Korea, in China, in Russia, but the population in Hokkaido, they don't migrate. They only stay in Hokkaido. So there's no inbreeding problems there.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes, yes, Arakaki-san.
Thank you very much. Your very interesting presentation. I think this is first time I met you, or
I met you before at in Okinawa.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, in Okinawa, yes.
Okay. I want to ask. You said that swallow,
Ban
swallow,
swallow, yeah.
ban swallows survey.
Mm-hmm.
There's any participant from Okinawa?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not sure, but yeah, I will check later and let you know.
And then now, how many schools joined that survey?
Well, actually, we work with UNESCO Associate School, UNESCO school. And last year, we have just 3 schools participated. But we think we can invite more schools after COVID-19.
And then I mean, how many schools in Japan?
Total number of schools.
I'm very interested
So,
because of very good way, as you said, that
yeah.
how to educate, how to.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure, and I cannot answer right now. But yeah, I will reply you later.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Arakaki-san,
Yes.
my understanding that in Ishikawa Prefecture,
Yeah.
they do it in the whole prefecture, all the elementary school. The 5th grade, the students of 5th grade, they will join the barn swallow breeding survey in the first week of May. Could be this week. And they have a very good website, education system and tools. Yeah, maybe I can introduce some of my friends in Ishikawa to you, because it's involved with all the elementary schools in Ishikawa. That's something amazing. We're doing it here in Taiwan, but so far only 4 elementary schools joined our survey. So we hope there can be more.
And I think
this year
in Okinawa no school maybe, because I never heard about that. Heard about the barn swallow survey in Okinawa. So no school maybe no school joined that survey in Okinawa, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe later you can work with WBSJ on this project, or we can work together on the breeding survey with with the elementary school students. It'd be a very good idea. Thank you very much, Arakaki-san.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Right, just show your hand and ask a question. Yes, yes, Scott, please.
Yes, I remember seeing at the Asian Bird Fair in Chiayi, Korea had a film about the barn swallow survey as well.
Yes.
Is there any coordination like between Japanese Wild Bird Society, well, WBSJ, and our society in Taiwan, and to kind of get a bigger picture of the barn swallow population? It seems like there's a lot of surveys. Is there a place where they bring the data together for Asia?
Well, actually, Wild Bird Society of Japan did not coordinate the barn swallow survey in Asia, just cross communication with Taiwan. But maybe Victor knows some more information.
Yeah, actually, we were invited to Ishikawa Prefecture several years ago. I guess it's 2012 to participate in their swallow camp in the summer. And then we worked together with children in Cheongsan-namdo in South Korea. And since that, you know, we organize the swallow camp every year. Once in Japan, Ishikawa, or Korea, or Taiwan. So we take turns to host the swallow camp.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We only do the education program, not really, you know, scientific. You know, we share our experience, not really information. So we hope, you know, Scott, we can do more on this.
Okay.
More scientific cooperation for students and for the barn swallows.
Yeah. Not by Wild Bird Society of Japan, but Ishikawa Prefecture conducted a barn swallow survey over 40 years. And Ishikawa Prefecture invites some Asian countries to Japan and exchange the information of swallow survey by themselves.
Okay, so there is some, and maybe they'll do more in the future. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Gombo, please.
Thank you, Hiroko-san. Quite good presentation. Unfortunately, I was late anyway. Do you know which subspecies occurring in Japan? First question. The second question is, well, you know, barn swallow in my country, in Mongolia, is a pretty common species. But we do have 3 different subspecies in Western Mongolia's denominate subspecies, rustica, and in Central Mongolia, titleri, which is reddish brown underparts, and gutteralis. So we did a very good the scientific research on taxonomy and phylogeny of the barn swallows across Palearctic region with the American, the Colorado, I think, Colorado University people. So I'm just wondering which subspecies occur in your country. And second is there any? Well, I think it's called asked.
In Japan, it's rustica.
You think rustica?
Rustica, yeah.
Same in Taiwan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the gutteralis is quite common in your country. Is there any population movement, or not movement, the migration between Taiwan and Japan and Korea? That's the reason to conduct this joint service by your team and Taiwan team, or is there any the movement between the populations in Taiwan and Japan?
I think barn swallows breeding in Japan, wintering in Philippines or one southern country. So I'm not sure it's related to a population in Taiwan or not.
Oh, right. And I just wondering if you put the very small geolocators, and you will know the movement between the countries in order to develop the collaboration between the countries, you know. Thank you very much.
The swallow survey conducted by Wild Bird Society of Japan is a citizen science. So just observe barn swallow nest and count the chicks, or just such a thing. So
observations. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, 3 years ago, my friends in central Taiwan, in Taichung, they used geolocator, but I didn't know the result. Maybe I can ask them, but they did only once. And I guess one geolocator was recollected. Maybe there's some, important information there, but I don't think once is enough, but at least, it's done once. I'll ask, and then I'll share the information with you, Combo.
Thank you, Victor.
Okay, we have a question from our friend Nahar from India, and yeah, he wants to know, the Society of Wild Bird Study of Japan is funding its activity, is asking about funding. And the second, some of your initiatives are scientific in nature. How do you undertake them? Do you receive support from ecologists, bird scientists? Do you get the questions?
Yeah. What is first question?
About funding, yeah.
About funding, our activities are supported by all donation and membership.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are a non-profit organization. So most of part is a donation and membership, and some of the from our products such as rain boots or something.
Okay.
And in Japan, some of some projects are supported by corporate company such as Toyota or some kind of.
Okay. So and then do you work with the ecologists or scientists for your
yes.
your study?
It depends on the project, but sometimes we work with scientists or ecologists.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Any more questions? Yes, Francisco.
Do you have any blinds to see other birds? You have talked mostly about the barn swallows and the cranes, but you said there are about 600 species more. And do you have other places where you go to see more species, where you have blinds, or how easy is to see other birds? What birds would there be to see besides the cranes and the barn swallows?
Yeah, if you want to go for birding in Hokkaido, north part of Hokkaido, you can see a Stellar's sea eagle or white-tailed sea eagle, or so many birds in winter season. And in southern part of Japan, you can see other cranes. I'm sorry, how to say in English, white-naped crane. So many foreign people want to see a red-crowned crane or in Hokkaido, and after that fly to southern part of Japan in Kyushu to see other cranes.
Okay, great. Thanks.
My birding experience in Hokkaido was that, once I visit there, and I saw the white-bellied seagull, what's the seagull?
Stellar sea eagle.
The stellar seagull, yes,
Yeah.
the seagull. You know, they stand on the floating ice,
Yeah.
feeding fish.
Mm.
That's something amazing
Wow.
in winter time.
Nice.
That's something you must see in Hokkaido.
Want to photograph.
Photograph, yeah, and they can be very close.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Maybe you use a smartphone is good enough to take the photos.
Really? Wow.
All right, before we move on, let's take a group photo first, all right? Okay, so please turn on your camera, guys. Andrew, Mike, Gombo. Oh, Mike. Okay, Andrew, how are you?
Andrew, what's that?
Yeah, we'll talk later about Andrew, right? Just don't scare us. Yes, please look at the camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. All right, let's go on. Yeah, Hiroko, you talk about the barn swallow. Do you have any statistics about the survival rate of the kids from the nest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, regarding the barn swallows breeding survey, the average number of fledgling in urban area is 3.9, and rural area is 4.2.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, rural area. Sorry, I sent Victor the number of the average number by email. I think rural area is they can raise more chicks in rural area, but less number of chicks in urban areas. So
Okay.
it depends on the environment, surrounding environment.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, yeah, more than I thought. I thought it's about 1/3.
Yeah.
It's more than that. Okay, well, thank you very much. Are there more questions? If there's no questions, then we thank Hiroko again for a good presentation. Hiroko is our first speaker from Japan. That's something wonderful. Yeah, Mike, where are we going next week?
Next week,
yeah,
we're going to Bhutan. Our speaker is Jigme Tsering from the Royal Society for the Protection of Nature in Bhutan, and he'll be talking about another species of crane, the black-necked crane conservation in Bhutan.
Wow! Oh wow, that's something very good. You know, this week we talk about the red-crowned crane. Next week, black-necked crane. Wow, yeah. This is a crane season, right? Thank you very much. All right, thank you guys for joining us today, and thank again Hiroko for the great presentation. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Hiroko.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
week. Thank you. Bye bye.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you, Hiroko.